So welcome to our humble home. You know, out here is where all of your garbage and recycling and environmental resources get coordinated and executed. So in my line of business, if it doesn't smell, that means the bills aren't being paid. All right. So welcome once again to this historic moment for the city and our department. Today, you know, our department is proud to host today's event. We take great pride in keeping Tampa clean every day and every morning. Our guys get up, show up to work, dedicated to provide the service that we need to keep our city shining and just looking great. And we're here for this occasion today to extend to our brothers from West Santo Domingo's, and pardon my lack of Spanish, so I'm saying it the American way. Tampa is home to a very diverse Hispanic population, so it is my pleasure to introduce the local Hispanic who is seen daily on Univision, Mr. Filippo Ferretti, who has graciously agreed to serve as our MC today. Filippo, floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bienvenidos a todos. Bienvenido alcalde, alcaldesa, buenos días. And I'm really excited to be here this morning, especially because today we are on the eve of the kickoff of the Hispanic Heritage Season. It's a really important day for our community and our Hispanic community here in Tampa. We have Cubanos, venezolanos, españoles, puertorriqueños, ecuatorianos y sobre todo muchísimos dominicanos. Entonces, realmente, bienvenidos a todos. Bienvenidos. Welcome also here. I see Cristi, 92.5 La Máxima. Gracias por estar con nosotros, así como todos los otros medios. We have outside here a garbage truck. I covered this story on the news, I think 2 weeks ago. Ashley, thank you. Ashley, Ashley. You are really a blessing for us, especially when you pitch stories. It's very important for us. Also, helping us every time in the effort to inform our Hispanic community. Ashley told me about this garbage truck, and during our editorial meeting, we thought that was a very great story because during the last 6 months we covered such tough stories for the coronavirus, the hurricane season. So I think that was a very important story, especially because it's a story of hope. And we saw fear in our community, a lot of people that they lost their jobs or the illness of the coronavirus. So that was really a great story. And for the report, I speak with Alcaldesa. And I think this is the real spirit of our city, the diversity. Because when I spoke with Major Castor, she told me, we are really in a tough time, I'm sure you remember, but we are in this together. So if we can help, also if we are in hard times, we can help. And this is the spirit of our city, the diversity. And I think we are in hard times, but sometimes it's a little bit harder, especially for people who have the more needs. So we covered the story, and we have such a great success for that story. So thank you, Major. Thank you, Ashley. And I want to introduce the Major, el alcalde José Andújar de Santo Domingo Este de la República Dominicana. We are very glad to have you today. Bienvenidos aquí a Tampa con toda su familia. Gracias por estar con nosotros. And hoy no hubiera sido posible todo este esfuerzo. También gracias a toda la ciudad de Tampa. Today could not have been possible without much support and a great team effort and every person here in the local elected official. We have Major Jane Castor. Major, thank you again. The Tampa City Councilman Charlie Miranda. With Chilson, liaison for the Municipal Council of Santo Domingo at the University of Central Florida. Also, thank you to Tony Head of Head's Flag for providing the Dominican Republican flag. And from the City of Tampa, Jane McLean, the legal department, Tampa City Consumer Charlie Miranda, Mary Bryan, Consumer Miranda's office, Sal Ruggiero, Deputy Administrator, the Infrastructure and Mobility, Mark Wilfcott, Director of the Solid Waste and Environmental Program Management Department, Mario Acosta, Fleet Maintenance Division, and of course, our Major, Jane Castor, who is always so very supportive of helping others and committed to celebrating diversity. Thank you very much, Major, for all you did and to make of Tampa such a great city. And special thank you to Pedro Alejandro Matos Ramirez, Director of Legal for Dominican Association, who has generously sponsored today's reception, and Adrian Weeb, Brandox IQ for today's refreshments. And today's music is provided by Solid Waste Automatic Collection Driver Panameño Rubal Butler. And a special welcome to the delegation from Santo Domingo Oeste. Tenemos a María Matos de Andújar, Michael José Andújar Matos, Harold José Andújar Matos, Feisel José Andújar Matos, Pedro Abigail Terrero Matos, y también a Gloria Samantha Polanco, asistente del alcalde. And representing Tampa Hispanic Heritage, we have the president, Dr. Rafael Fuentes, and board member, Adri Colina. Adri is also chief and of administration of Tampa Solid Waste Department and Tampa 2018 Hispanic Woman of the Year. Thank you, Adri. And representing the Major Hispanic Advisor Council, Melissa Martinez. And I would like to introduce the Consumer Charlie Miranda, who tell us more about how this truck is moving from Tampa to Santo Domingo. Thank you.
Well, I don't follow scripts too well. So before I do that, I'd like to bring up Chairman of the Tampa City Council, Mr. Maniscalco. Please join me. First name is Guido Maniscalco. You know, when you look at life and you look at today's society, what do you hear about? Wildfires, coronavirus, and any news you see on television, and I'm not anti-TV or radio or newspapers, it's not a welcoming news. It's something that's sad, something that's obstructing your life, the life of families, and the future lives of everyone in America and everyone in the United States. Through this wonderful mayor of West Santo Domingo, what happened here is really a chance to give something back to someone that needs it. This truck and other vehicles would have been, they're not in use, they would have been out of service, and yet this is going to an area where they need it very bad. I see the great country of the Dominican Republic as the gateway to saving us. You know why? They have to have the hurricanes first, and then we get the winds. But this country takes the beat of it, and we get the wind of it. So it's about time we give something back. It's a country that's very united. I know a lot of ball players that come from the Dominican Republic. One special one that pitched for the St. Louis Cardinals was Joaquin Andujar, but it's not related to the great mayor. I asked him that question. And I know many jockeys from Dominica as I work in horse racing, but this started with a call from Whit Chisholm. I don't know if Whit's in the room. I don't see him. But it started with a call from Whit Chisholm some months back that my secretary, Mary Bryan, who's back there hiding in the corner, she doesn't want to be recognized, was kind enough to work, and he used to work for a congressman by the name of Lou Fry many years ago. And he remembered us and we remembered him. And that's how the process started. It ran up the lines of government, and the mayor knows he's got 15 council members. So mayor, you're lucky, you only have that half that much. But these are the things that I talked to the mayor briefly about, and it's a chance to do something for someone, not to get something back, but to get closer ties in public relations with that country. Because what we have in life, we forgot about. You forget who your neighbor's name is. You can't ask me to tell me you have a front porch, because if you do, you don't sit on it. You got television, you got radio, you got IT&T, you got computers, you got anything in the world you can use, but you don't know your neighbor. That's a problem that we have worldwide. And we're lucky to meet our new neighbor. Although he's been our neighbor, we just never knew it. So it started that way, and the mayor was kind enough to take a hold of this asking from Mr. Chisholm, and it went through the ranks, and it took a couple of months. And then it came through, and that's when it came on the agenda, and with the help of Chairman Guido Maniscalco, this thing was able to pass through by a 7-0 vote. Very rarely, it's like the mayor getting 15-0 vote. He's got twice the challenge. It was passed unanimously by Tampa City Council. And we're very grateful to have a mayor that is receptive to bring a lot of people here today to understand the culture and the differences that we have, the difficulties that we're having in this country now. And there's much more, and I'm gonna stop right there. If not, I'll be here for 2 weeks. Guido, would you like to say anything?
Sure. Thank you very much for having me. If I don't take this mask off, you won't be able to hear me because it's muffled. To the mayor, alcalde, es un honor tener a usted aquí con nosotros y que aceptan esto, así podemos abrir la puerta en relaciones con la ciudad de Tampa y con ustedes, y empezamos un viaje nuevo juntos y trabajando juntos y continuando esto. Gracias.
I can't let the chairman beat me in my own language. Un placer estar con ustedes esta mañana y tenemos la oportunidad de conocer no solamente al alcalde, pero a la señora divina que es y a todos los que trajeron del país de Dominican Republic. Es un placer, un corazón a tener la misma sangre, hispanos todos son iguales y se quieren uno a otro y se respetan uno a otro. Y el país de los Estados Unidos, como vota el hispano, es el que va a ser el presidente. Así que legislen, vayan a votar. Muchísimas gracias por todo. I don't know what my role is next, but I see the mayor has not spoken. I don't know what the protocol is. I want to thank Filippo for doing an outstanding job, Univision, and he's a wonderful individual. He has tough questions, and that's why I dart away from him.
Y ahora quisiera dar la palabra al alcalde de Santo Domingo Este, que nos pueda contar sus necesidades, alcalde. ¿Qué tan importante es recibir este camión?
Primero en español. Buenos días. Primero vamos a darle gracias a Dios que ha permitido que estemos todos aquí. Gracias a la alcaldesa, gracias a los concejales, de verdad, gracias también a la Comisión Dominicana que nos están acompañando aquí y sobre todo el inicio de una hermandad de esta comunidad de Tampa con el municipio Santo Domingo Oeste. Me preguntaba que qué representa para nosotros esta ayuda que ustedes acaban de entregarnos de este camión y ayudarnos a resolver los problemas de salubridad, de limpieza de nuestro municipio. De esta misma manera, no quiero que nos vean a nosotros como muy pedigüeños, pero sí necesitamos de ustedes porque tienen mejores condiciones para trabajar que las que tenemos nosotros en nuestro municipio. Trabajamos con muchas dificultades, con mucha crisis y con muchos problemas. Y esta ayuda que ustedes hoy nos están poniendo en nuestra mano, tal vez para ustedes la ven pequeña, pero nosotros la vemos grande, porque realmente nos ayuda a resolver ese gran problema. Y de esa misma manera le pedimos y le estamos invitando a su vez para que vayan a Santo Domingo Este, a la República Dominicana, una invitación. You are the invitation from Open and Dominican Republic. And next time, together at that council. ¿Ok? Entonces, le pedimos que de esa misma manera nos sigan ayudando, que nosotros le vamos a agradecer infinitamente esta ayuda y esa colaboración que ustedes acaban de entregarnos a nosotros en este camión, o este compactador, como le llamamos nosotros allá, de basura. Así que muchísimas gracias. Así que muchísimas gracias a la señora alcaldesa, a los concejales, y sepan que República Dominicana, que es un país bendecido por Dios, igual que Estados Unidos, y que nosotros somos una sola familia. Gracias, infinitamente agradecido de esta gran ayuda. Que Dios los bendiga a todos.
Gracias. And now I would like to introduce the alcaldesa, our Major Jane Castor.
Antes de que ella haga su intervención,
Ajá.
nosotros de parte de la alcaldía y de mi esposo, de la primera dama, vamos a hacerle una...
Hable duro, señor.
Ajá, vamos a hacerle este presente. Sí, buenos días a todos. Yo soy la esposa del alcalde. Vamos a entregarle a la alcaldesa de Tampa la representación de nuestra república y muy especialmente el municipio de Santo Domingo Oeste. Le va a dar lectura el alcalde de lo que dice aquí y luego le vamos a... bueno, yo misma, gracias. Es un gran honor para mí. Alcaldía de Santo Domingo Oeste, República Dominicana. Ingeniero José Dolores Andújar Ramírez otorga el máximo reconocimiento a la alcaldía de la ciudad de Tampa, a la alcaldesa Jane Castor y el Consejo de Concejales de la Florida de Estados Unidos, de Tampa, por el gran apoyo proporcionado a la ciudad de Santo Domingo Oeste y por la donación del camión de basura. También por la contribución al desarrollo y embellecimiento de la misma. Al igual forma por sus atinadas atenciones, lo que inicia una relación bilateral de amistad y colaboración entre ambas ciudades. Reiteramos nuestro eterno agradecimiento. Muchas gracias. Queremos destacar la participación del abogado Pedro Alejandro Matos Ramírez. Él es abogado aquí de la ciudad en Miami, Orlando, Tampa. Trabaja con unos jueces y fue quien tuvo la participación principal, adjunto de otro muchacho que trabaja con él, Will. ¿Dónde está Will? Le queremos hacer un reconocimiento a él. Por la gran relación y la colaboración de Will en este evento. Para él es muy importante este reconocimiento al igual que nosotros, porque ellos tienen una amistad de hermandad, estudiaron juntos en el college y siguen su relación de trabajo, de colaboración con los más necesitados en nuestro país. También tenemos un presente para la alcaldesa muy personal, porque es de una piedra autóctona del Caribe. Esa piedra no existe en otro lugar del mundo. Se llama larimar. Ken, por favor, tráeme un papel para entregárselo. Discúlpenos, pero es que estamos muy emocionados y muy contentos, porque ustedes, cuando tengan la oportunidad de ir a nuestro municipio, van a ver todas las necesidades que tenemos allá. Para nosotros esto representa mucho y estamos eternamente agradecidos de esta alcaldesa, de los concejales, de Miranda y de todos los demás. Estaremos siempre en comunicación y esta piedra se llama Larimal y solo existe en el Mar Caribe. Es trabajada a mano. Aquí está, unos aretitos y un pendiente. Muchas gracias y aquí estaremos para colaborar. Y para que sepan también que nosotros, si ustedes nos necesitan para también hacer política aquí en Estados Unidos, nosotros tenemos, todos esos muchachos son ciudadanos también, tienen la doble ciudadanía, así que ya ustedes saben, está a la orden. Muy buena.
So I would like to tell everybody that they gave to our alcaldesa an achievement that started the relationship between the two cities and a very special stone, handmade and typical from Dominican Republic. Major, thank you.
Thank you so much. Bienvenidos a todos. That's about as far as it goes. So, first, I want to thank Felipe for the relationship that he has with us in Univision. And he rolls my R's for me, and I translate Southern for him. So, unfortunately, my Spanish isn't as good as my good friends, Charlie Miranda and Guido Maniscalco. But this is such an exciting day for our entire community. As was said by Filippo, we start Hispanic Heritage Month, and so we couldn't be more excited about that and to be able to celebrate everything that the Hispanic culture has brought to building Tampa and to making it what it is today, and that is one of the greatest cities in the entire world next to West Santo Domingo. So I just am so excited at the possibility of celebrating and exploring all of the different talents, both in the business world and the arts and culture and everything that our Hispanic community has to bring to Tampa. As was stated by Charlie Miranda, we're a very diverse community, and there are a lot of diverse communities around the United States. But the difference here in the city of Tampa is that we celebrate that diversity every single day. And that's what really lifts us up above so many other cities around the world. I want to thank our Hispanic Heritage Committee and also the Mayor's Hispanic Heritage Advisory Committee for all that they do to advise me and to, again, put that spotlight on our culture and all that the Hispanic community has done for our city. Now, today's event is a perfect example of bringing everyone together. This pandemic has caused us to be apart from each other physically, but it doesn't mean that we can't come together in positive action. And we've seen so many examples of that over the last few months, specifically here in our city, which make me very, very proud. And so this is another example of communities coming together for the betterment of their residents. And you talk about a garbage truck, not a lot of things real sexy about a garbage truck, but it is critical. That process is critical for the safety and well-being and health of our community. And so if we can help out, as Councilman Miranda said, we have changed over to the side loader fleets, and so we have garbage trucks that we basically would be auctioning off. So what better use than to give them to a community that is in need? And so we could not be more excited about this possibility that was made through simple conversations. Again, we're all connected with social media, we're all busy with our phones all day, but it's having those conversations and having those relationships with individuals. To say Whit to call down, Mary Bryant takes the call, and what does that turn into? That turns into the entire City of Tampa team making this happen. Now, I must admit, I do want to see how they're going to get that garbage truck over there, but I guess that's the second part. We're on the good part right now of making it possible. So, Alcalde Andahar and your lovely wife, we are so happy to welcome you into our wonderful community. I have already apologized profusely for the weather. We are always sunny and hot, but we're having a lot of rain lately. But you'll have to come back and visit when the weather is much, much nicer. So I want to tell you guys a very quick story. So my dog, the office dog, is Alcaldesa. We did a public naming when she became the office dog, and that was the overwhelming name for her. So we call her Dessa for short. So my brother is a part of the Rough Riders club, and he was our Ybor City, as everyone knows, was founded by the cigar rollers, and has played an incredible part in the history of our city. And the Rough Riders have a very close relationship with Ybor City. Their headquarters is there. So they have the alcalde of Ybor City. And my brother was actually sworn in as the alcalde. And in his speech, he said that he was the mayor of Ybor, and he gave the rest of the city to his sister. So he's got all the fun parts, and I've got all the budget and everything else. But I've got a great team to help me out in Guido Maniscalco and Charlie Miranda. But I want to again thank everyone who had their hand in making this day possible. And it really just shines a light on what a great community we are and how we want to help lift up your community as well in any way that we can. So thank you to everyone who has participated today. And now we get to the great part. Alcalde. Not only do you get the keys to the truck, but you get a really cool keychain as well. And now you are the proud owner of a garbage truck that was only used on Mondays and Thursdays in some neighborhoods and Tuesdays and Fridays in other neighborhoods. So it's going to work well.
Thank you. Wow, such an important day for our community. Are you happy, Major? Contento? Feliz. So I want to thank you, everyone. Do you have something? Yes. So Charlie Miranda has something important to say. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Maniscalco and I have something to give the mayor also, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Annette Hall, who's the right and left hand of Councilmember Dingfelder in the back. She tells him what to do, and he does the opposite. That's what we all do, not him. Señor alcalde, señor Guido, nosotros tenemos para darle lo que pasó en el Conso como el troque de el título, pero sin esto no voy a tener el título. Así que ven acá a recibir su... Y ella te dio la llave del camión y te dio un papelito. El papelito mío está en plástico, es maduro. Esto es de concilio cuando pasa por las leyes de la ciudad de Tampa y va por el departamento de abogados. Este es el final, la resolución 502, Resolution 502, that gave the mayor the right to either reject or approve. And of course, you approved the nice, brand new, bueno, casi nuevo. Never believe an elected official all the way. Y para su ciudad de West Santo Domingo, este es el oficial. que pasó por el concilio, los 7 concejales firmaron, así que mi hermano, quédate aquí más tiempo que vamos a pasar todo fácil.
All right, thank you. So I want to thank you everybody for joining this morning with us. It's really an important day. I want to say thank you to the alcaldesa, ladies first, el alcalde, su familia, todos ustedes. Thank you very much for joining with us. Tenemos a nuestros amigos de los medios, a Cristi, a Neo. Gracias por estar con nosotros esta mañana. Y ahora pueden enjoy the reception and the company. It was a really my honor to join with us this morning. Thank you. Gracias.